completely judged where you've come from and laid out all the pieces, and you know exactly what it all means at that point.
Okay. Okay. Early on in your career, you even now sometimes you dabble in it. Was the androgynous thing? What I want to know, and with all due respect, was that an act, or were you searching for a sexual identity?
That's a good question. I don't suppose I was searching really. I think I was just being who I was,
Okay.
being the true Gemini that I am.
So I'm back. This is another episode of Proof That Astrology is Real. We in Gemini season now. We ended Taurus season with Malcolm X. That was the last video that I did. So now that we in Gemini season, we gonna be doing Gemini. So the next couple videos, 4 or 5 videos that I make gonna be on famous Gemini, on famous Gemini people. So shout out to all of the Geminis out there. This y'all season, so turn up. Y'all a fellow air sign just like myself. So, you know, I mess with a lot of Geminis. I definitely understand y'all. I definitely have a lot of Geminis that I like, especially artists. Some of them I'm gonna be breaking down and doing upcoming. So yeah, shout out to all of the Geminis. This y'all season, so enjoy. But anyway, getting into the video. So today I'm going to be doing Prince. Most of us know who Prince is, a famous musician, actor, one of the biggest artists of all time. He always get associated with Michael Jackson. He always get compared to Michael Jackson as being the biggest artist of all time. He known for playing multiple musical instruments. Most people consider him a musical genius. I mean, most of us know who Prince is, Mr. Purple Rain. So, of course, we know that Prince is a Gemini himself. His birthday is actually June 7th. So that's about a week and a half from now. So before I get into Prince birth chart and breaking down Prince birth chart, I always like to break down why I made this channel and about this channel, just in case this is your first time watching. So if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I created this channel, Proof That Astrology is Real, to help bring better insight into astrology and to help bring more awareness to astrology and to help people better understand astrology, because astrology has become a big topic of discussion. It's always been around, but because Outkast dropped the album called Equimni, which is basically Aquarius and Gemini mixed, and a lot of people talked about, zodiac signs and their zodiac sign, even going back to like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But it's become even more bigger now with social media, now that you can research more about it. Because before, a lot of people didn't know that much about astrology because there wasn't as much information as there is now in astrologers and all of the access to information that we have now. So we've been able to learn more about it, because most people just know the basics of astrology. Basically, whatever your birthday is your sun sign. So, if your birthday is the end of June, you know that you a Gemini. So, but it's much deeper than that, because we all have our own birth charts and multiple planets. We all have a moon sign, a rising sign. All of this stuff affects our personality. It's just not as simple as our sun sign. Your birthday is this date, so you gonna act this certain way. It's much deeper than that. So that's why a lot of people get confused, because there's a lot of people who don't believe in astrology and a lot of people that do. But most people who do believe in it, they don't know a lot about it. They might just know about their certain zodiac sign, and little stuff about them, but they haven't really deep dive into astrology and what it all means and breaking down their birth chart and everything like that. And the same thing for people who don't believe in astrology. Most people who don't believe in astrology hasn't done the research. about it. It's that simple. I haven't met nobody who actually took the time to research and deep dive into it that came away saying that it's fake and it's dumb. Like a lot of people say astrology is dumb and don't believe in it, but they haven't did no research. So that's why I'm making this channel, because I figured what better way and what more entertaining way to prove astrology and to help break down astrology than to use celebrities, people that we always get a glimpse into their life and we get to see what their personality is like. So we can kind of look at their birth chart and see if that lines up with their personality in the way that they supposed to act. So yes, that's my reason for making this channel. Then, like I always say, every video is that, of course, astrology is not the end all be all. Of course, your background, the way where you was raised, how you was raised, your parents, everything is gonna play a factor into who you is as a person. It's not as simple as, okay, I'm this zodiac sign, so I'm gonna act this certain way. Like if you born like somebody who's um African American born in Detroit is going to act different than an Asian who was born, in Asia or China or something like that. Like your cultural and your, racial background, everything is going to shape who you is as a person. Astrology just gives us a glimpse and kind of an archetype of how you will act. If you're going to be emotional, if you're going to be more logical, if you're going to be more of a social person, if you're going to be um more of a workaholic, like it breaks down certain other archetype and traits about you. But if you can combine that with your background and your, how you was raised and other things, it can basically tell you how you gonna be and how this person is going to act. If you mix astrology with the person background and their history, you can really figure out how a person is going to act and how that personality is going to be like for the most part. So now that I got that out the way, I want to get into today's topic is Prince, a Gemini, starting off Gemini season right, because I got a request for this video. Somebody requested me to do Prince when I did I think Tupac video. They said that they wanted to see Prince. So I'm gonna start it off with Prince because of course he's one of the biggest artists and one of the biggest Geminis of all time. So getting right into it, like already broke down, we all know who Prince is, a famous musician, a famous singer. He was in the movie Purple Rain also, one of the biggest artists of all time. So Prince was born, like I said, June 7th, 1958, and he died April 21st, 2016. Time be flying, because I remember when Prince died, it don't even seem like that long ago. And he was 57 years old. And if you don't know, he died because he overdosed. Somebody, I think, gave him some fentanyl, I believe. When he was supposed to be taking some pain medication. So, it's a tragic event, a tragic situation. So getting into Prince birth chart, once this the second time I've seen this website have it off or wrong. The other one was with John Wayne Gacy, who was a Pisces, because all his planets is right besides his moon and his rising sign. Everywhere else that I have research says that Prince is a moon in Pisces, not an Aquarius, and then his rising is a Scorpio, not a Virgo. So because your moon sign is going to be affected by the time that you was born on a day. Like if you was born at midnight versus born at 6 p.m., because planets change throughout the day. So, and going by the sign. So like Aquarius moved to Pisces, because Pisces come after Aquarius, just like Scorpio after Virgo is Libra, then Scorpio. So that's kind of confusing. But usually, the planets goes into the other planet depending on the time of the day. So everything that I've seen says that Prince was born at 6:17 p.m. So that's what makes him a Pisces. I think they just use midnight. So if Prince was born like at midnight or, in the AM, he would have been an Aquarius moon. But it's saying that a couple places that I've seen said that he was born at 6/17. I seen Prince's birth chart, but it didn't have the time that he was born on there. So we don't know for sure. But all other sites that I've seen, I then looked at multiple other sites. Um, and they all say that Prince, as you see, got a moon in Pisces and then rising in Scorpio. So that's two sites. This is the third site. So that's moon, that's the Pisces symbol. And then adjacent, I think that's, oh, here it go. It's a Scorpio. So every other site that I'm pulling up says that, okay, that's not right. No. Okay, so this is not telling. But yeah, so every other site is saying that he has a Pisces in a moon in Pisces and then a Scorpio rising. So I'm gonna go by that because I always like to go with the consensus. This is the site that I like to use because it gives the best breakdown and I just like the layout of it. But I always double check with other sites, you know, to come up with the consensus on if this is the correct birth chart or not. But on every other site, all of the other planets is right. It's just the moon sign that's all. And knowing Prince, I could see Prince being a Pisces or Aquarius moon sign. It really can go both ways. I see it both ways because with the moon in Aquarius, I can see that from Prince being unique and original and different than everybody else. That's a Aquarius trait. But then I can see him being a Pisces also because Pisces are real like artsy and big into music and musical things. And a lot of people like Kanye West has a Pisces moon. So, and you know, just like Prince and Kanye, they big on like testing out different musical instruments and like really deep diving into music and the different aspects of it. So that's a Pisces thing also. So I can see it both ways. But like I said, I'm gonna go with the Prince having a moon in Pisces and rising in Scorpio versus him having a moon in Aquarius. Because four other sites all say that his moon is in Pisces and he was born at 6/17. This is the only one that says that he has a moon in Aquarius. So right there, we gonna look at that different. Like, I'm gonna go by him having a moon in Pisces and breaking it down that way. But besides that, everything else is right. So Prince has a sun in Gemini, a moon supposed to be in Pisces, a Mercury in Gemini, a Venus in Taurus, a Mars in Aries, a Jupiter in Libra, a Saturn in Sagittarius, a Uranus in Leo, a Neptune in Scorpio, a Pluto in Leo, a North Node in Libra, and then a Length in Aries. And then his rising sign is a Scorpio, like I said. So that's Prince's birth chart. So getting into it right off rip about his like I always say every video, because I always try to think about the people who might be watching my videos for the first time. Your sun, moon, and rising sign is called your big three. Them is the three planets, well, the two planets, and then your rising sign that tells the most about your personality. Your sun sign is the way that you think, your outer self. Your moon sign is what's hidden, your deeper self, your feelings. And then your rising sign is your social personality, how people view you. So with this rising being in Scorpio, for instance, if you don't get the rising sign, Scorpios are known for being mysterious and dark. So somebody with the rising in Scorpio is going to be viewed as like mysterious and kind of like, have kind of a dark vibe to them and about them. And then his sun being a Gemini, of course, that's going to be his outer self. That's going to be the way that Prince think. His moon sign, Pisces, is going to be the way that he feel. So now that we got that out the way, breaking down his sun in Gemini and what that means. So things about Gemini. So Gemini is the air sign, just like Aquarius and Libra. All air signs is dealing with communication and intellect. So what that means is that air signs is going to be the thinkers of the zodiac. They the ones that are more logical than they are emotional. All air signs is going to like communication. They're going to be attracted to communication, somebody who intellectual, somebody who they can hold a conversation with. All air signs is known for being just like they are air signs. So a lot of air signs can be known for ghosting people or disappearing on people, being their own way, going their own way, especially Aquarius. Um, and then all air signs is social to a certain degree. Gemini, Libra more so than Aquarius, because Aquarius have is known for being aloof, so they can have moments of being very social, then they can have moments to where they disappear from the world. So them the things that all air signs share in common with each other is that they dealing with the mind, they dealing with being logical, they dealing with communication, they dealing with intellect. Now, what's unique about Gemini is that Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so, and Mercury is the planet of communication, and it also controls your thought process, like how fast you can think also. So all Geminis is going to be, of course, associated with talking, loving to talk, loving to communicate. I know a lot of Geminis try to say that they don't, but they do. Geminis can hold a conversation with almost anybody about anything because they also mutable. Who, you know, that we are besides the element, every sign is either mutable, cardinal, or fixed. So fixed signs like Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio and Taurus are stuck in their ways. They more stubborn. Mutable signs are just like that, mutable. So they open to change in the way that they feel and think about things, like they more go with the flow. That's what mutable signs is. They more so just go with the flow of things. And then cardinal signs like Libra, Capricorn, they're big on, and Aries, they big on initiating things. They're the ones that's big on like initiating a conversation or initiating something new, or they're the initiate. They are the ones that initiate things and get things going. So Geminis are very mutable. That's why, like I said, that they can communicate with just about anybody. They love talking and they love communicating, because that being them being ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. So a lot of Geminis are gonna be good talkers, good speakers. That's why Geminis get a reputation of being sweet talkers or smooth talkers, dealing with a lot of men or women. What else? That's why a lot of Geminis are music or are artists or musical artists, or they do something that has to deal with speech, whether it's acting or political or making music, like most of them do. Because coming up, it's a lot of artists that are Gemini, a lot of big artists also that's respected. Some of the biggest artists are Gemini. So, Gemini's gonna love to communicate any way that they can. They can love to write poetry, write things down, write books. All of them type of things is gonna be associated with being a Gemini. Then also Gemini is ruled by the twins. So because every Geminis are known for having two sides to them. Every Gemini can have like, a good and bad side, a funny and serious side. Like, they always gonna have two different sides to them. So it can vary from day to day, hour by hour, depending on the person who they is, but most Geminis will admit that they have two sides to them. Even though I do believe that we all got two or three sides to us, like nobody is completely all the way the same, but Geminis kind of take it to the extreme to where they could have, a lot of Geminis can get associated with being bipolar, like Kanye West is another Gemini. But or they could be known for contradicting themselves, like people say about Tupac. But them are the things about Gemini that I can think of. So I'm gonna read the breakdown and see what they tell us that I might have missed. So it says Geminis are friendly, clever, talkative, versatile, curious, perceptive, intuitive, and logical. At times, they can also be quite contradictory, restless, two-faced, critical, and impatient. Gemini people enjoy indeed work that includes a great deal of variety. They love to do several things all at the same time, sometimes making them late for appointments. They hate boredom. Geminis tend to flirt with one experience to another, gathering in all types of information along the way, but seldom getting to the depth of any subject. They go broad but and not deep. Persistence is not their strong suit. Gaining knowledge and disseminating it is their real talent. They make wonderful salespeople or teachers if they stick around long enough to get all the facts instead of only half the story. Even if they do not possess all the facts, since they are never at a loss to words, they will continue with their story as if they did have all of the facts. It is important for Gemini to seek intellectual satisfaction. Mental st stagnation turns them off, so they read intensively and communicate widely in order to satisfy this longing for mental stimulation. This content can make them either very ambitious or it can incline them to jump from one thing to another, searching for the greener grass which never appears. Geminis usually think quickly on their feet and have the ability to use the right words in any situation. They possess tremendous wit and a good sense of humor. Other people may have a difficulty in keeping up with their rapid change of subject. Because Geminis think so quickly, they often finish other people's sentences for them. This can be most frustrating for the person trying to express their own thoughts. There is a need to learn how to control the tongue and allow slower people to express their own opinions and ideas. Since Geminis have the capacity to see both sides of any issue, they may fluctuate back and forth between opposing viewpoints. They will usually tend to side with the opinion of whomever they happen to be with at the moment. Then they change as the circumstances change. Indecisiveness is a problem for Geminis. Geminis are usually emotionally detached. They use their minds rather than their hearts to find their way through things. Logic and reason are their guidelines. They are able to understand what makes other people behave as they do, but they have a difficulty in projecting themselves into the emotional reactions of the person involved. Some of the negative traits that Gemini possess are lack of concentration and focus, undependability, fickleness, indecisiveness, superficiality, wishful thinking, and dreaminess. They can also be good at nagging. Geminis need to work on getting their mind out under control. Their nervous system is highly strong. If they don't learn to control their nerves, they are apt to become ill. The way out of this difficulty is to take the emphasis off of themselves and lose it through service to others. Above all, the Geminis need to learn to channel control his energy and his mind. So that's all things about Gemini for sure. And a lot of this stuff we could definitely see about Prince. How he made a lot of music and a lot of times he would make a song, hop to another song, and he was kind of like all over the place with a lot of things that he did like musically. He could be playing one instrument and hop to another instrument, to another song, because like most Geminis, they get bored quickly. And then we know that Prince is big on mental and intellectual things, just like all air signs. Definitely versatile and clever, talkative, and logical, as all things can be associated with Prince. And all of these things are definitely things about Gemini. Some of them I have already mentioned already. And then what else? So they use their minds versus their heart. Like I already said about really all air signs is how they more mental than they are emotional. And they can, instead of thinking about things, getting emotional, they can think about it logically. And then all of the negative traits of a Gemini, a lot of Geminis can have a problem with a lack of concentration and focus. They can be undependable because I do know a lot of Geminis that are undepend undependable. They definitely can be fickle, and indecisive, always changing their minds about things. So that's definitely all things that relates to a Gemini for sure. So getting into it, his moon sign is supposed to be a Pisces. And they got this one wrong. But like I said, your moon sign controls your feelings, and then Pisces is a water sign, just like Scorpio and Cancer. So they kind of the opposite of air signs because they dealing with the emotions and they rule the emotions. So Pisces is gonna be known for being emotional, sensitive, um, and a lot of Pisces and how it affects Prince and how I can see him having a Pisces moon is that a lot of Pisces love dream and illusions. Like Pisces is the ones who love to daydream, love to fantasize about things. And we know that about Prince, that Prince was real, like the dream a lot, and he was real creative. That's another thing. Pisces are known for being creative when it comes to things and really like, especially when it comes to artsy things, because Pisces also rule art, so they can be big into making music or drawing and all things that have to do with art. So I can see that definitely relating to Prince, and that's why Prince would be somebody who logical, but then also has an emotional side too. So Prince can be more emotional than a typical Gemini, and he can be as much as he a thinker, he can be he can be in tune with his emotions also. He not all logic or, like somebody who has a sun and moon sign in the air sign. So he do have control and a little bit emotional also, not just logical. So that's kind of a balance with his sun and Gemini and his moon and Pisces. And then Pisces is also the symbol of Pisces is also mutable also. So just like Gemini. So, but they more mutable when it comes to their emotions. So their emotions could be ever changing and they can adapt to other people's emotions versus Gemini is mutable when it comes to communication. So they can communicate with a lot of people. But with both of them being mutable signs, it means that Prince is going to be really a adaptable type of person who can really adapt to any situation and different situations and different people. And, he can be good when it comes to talking and relating to a whole bunch of different people, is basically what that means. So, um, so I had this pull up. So this gives us a quick breakdown about the Gemini Sun, Pisces Moon. The combination of the two, sort of say a perceptive personality. Principle, the Gemini Sun Pisces Moon personality is often dedicated to important endeavors, and these people are very professional and trustworthy. Gemini Sun Pisces Moon people seem to almost have a sixth sense that will always help them move forward in life. This combination of signs is one of the most adaptable and changing one. Receptive to what the other world is sending them, they will very much rely on spirituality to survive and achieve great things in life. Creative creatures, they have a powerful imagination, but too much thinking can harm their spirit. They need to allow themselves to be messengers of the transcendent and sublime. So it says the positives of this sign is that they're spiritual, imaginative, and elegant. The negatives is that they escapist, are are righteous, and impressionable. Yeah, impressionable. So what this word means for us, having or showing an extreme greed for wealth or material gain. So that means that they negative, they could be somebody who big on money and resources and material things. And then they can be a escapist. That comes from the Pisces because Pisces is known for being escapist, meaning that and then Geminis can also be escapists also, but that basically means that they don't like to they don't like to tackle their problems head on a lot of times. They like to escape and whether it's drugs or sex or something that helps you escape from reality and not have to face your problems. Then we know impressionable means that they can be somebody who easily, like people can, how can you explain it? Like people can basically, like they can pick up on other people. I can't even think of how to explain it. I know what it means, but I can't even think of how to explain it. Right, capable of being easily impressed, right? But meaning that other people can have an effect on them, like like watching other people and seeing other people can, have an effect on them in the way that they are as a person. That's how I take it. And then it says their perfect partner is someone who can share their intelligence and desire to dream. Advice they should base more of their actions on facts and less on intuition. So let's see. Okay, so they got a Gemini Sun Pisces Moon Man. The Gemini Sun Pisces Moon Man is very emotional, sensitive, and perceptive, but this sensitivity of him will be masked by the way he rationalizes problems that need to be addressed in a more detached manner. And this gentleman can never be satisfied if he conceals his emotions for too long. It's essential he expresses his feelings honestly and openly. The Gemini in him is analytical and objective. The Pisces makes him emotional and at the same time understanding. Either side he's influenced more by, he will always be a complex and adaptable individual. While he will see himself as complicated and cold, he's in fact kind and compassionate. He can even feel overwhelmed by all his compassion, even when he thinks that he's cool and more developed than this. It's possible that Gemini, Sun, Pisces, Moon, Man would have learned how to hide his feelings from a very young age. He would have been too impressionable as a child. So all the negativity seen in other people would have taught him how to conceal the fact that he's down or too happy. It suggested that most empathetic Gemini, Sun, Pisces moons are kept away because they can end up controlling others' lives without them even realizing. As the man in these signs is intuitive, he knows what's best for himself. There's nothing wrong with listening to his sixth sense. The same intuition will help him be a great business person, also a great teacher. He will probably be religious because this subject makes him curious. The moon in Pisces will aid the communicator Gemini to express himself creatively. So yes, that's all things about a sun in Gemini, moon in Pisces. And then we can like I can already broke down how I can see that in Prince being a little bit more emotional and different than the typical Gemini, but then a Pisces moon is where he get his artsy, and just like Kanye West is a moon and Pisces also, and we know how Kanye is with his music, loving to try different things and loving music and testing out different music and stuff like that. Kanye, another Gemini with Pisces moon, who's big like that. Like they don't just like it's one thing to just be a rapper or singer and to make music. They like to like make music from scratch, make the beat, make the sound, like really be hands-on and in charge of everything. And then they like to experiment a lot with things that they do. And that comes from the creativity of the Pisces moon. And then the sun and Gemini, that's what makes them want to communicate. That's what makes them intellectual and that being basically they passion in life because they want to communicate, they want to talk. So yeah, then his rising, I believe, is in Scorpio because they got that wrong also. Yeah, so he is a Scorpio rising. So like I said, your rising sign is how people view you. And Scorpios are viewed as mysterious and dark. So somebody with a Scorpio rising would be somebody who looked at as mysterious and dark. Which Prince is looked at, like Prince is definitely looked at as mysterious and his whole aura is kind of like different than everybody. So I can definitely see that his rising being a Scorpio, that makes a lot of sense. And then now his Mercury is in Gemini. Like I said, Mercury is the planet of communication and it's ruled by Gemini and Virgo. So people with Mercury and Gemini and Virgo are usually going to be good communicators and good at talking, and they're going to be fast thinkers and fast communicators. So this can be a big part of why Prince is such a good communicator and why he's so good at music, just like a lot of other people who has Mercury and Gemini and Virgo. So that's where his music ability can also come from, his Mercury and Gemini, his ability to communicate so well and express his thoughts so well. That comes from his Mercury and Gemini. So it says Prince's Mercury and Gemini. Prince has an extremely adaptable, energetic, active, alert, curious, and versatile mind. Prince seeks knowledge either through reading or conversation or through travel and talking with the new people he constantly meets. Prince has so much nervous energy that this can sometimes cause great stress, which must find an appropriate release. Exercise is a good way to release this tension. Prince is clever, witty, and always has a joke or comeback ready for any situation. Prince loves being involved in multiple things at once, and this may be a problem. Too many irons in the fire at the same time. Prince is quick to grasp new concepts and equally quick to lose interest in the idea or project once his curiosity has been satisfied. Prince likes to taste a little bit of everything. Concentration and disciplined study are not his strong points. Prince has a good hand-eye coordination and is maybe ambidextrous or mechanically inclined. Prince enjoys debate and disagreement with the things that pique Prince's interest. There is a propensity to only skim the surface without learning anything in depth. This is the position of jack of all trades, master of none. As a result, there is a risk of superficiality. To be successful, Prince must be able to control his thoughts, words, and actions. Find Prince focus, stick with it, and learn to preserve. He might be interested in journalism, speaking, teaching, sales, advertising, or writing. Prince, who is mentally restless, may frequently change occupations or locations, or undertake work that requires movement, travel, and variety. Prince has an easy time grasping information and may become irritated with individuals who do not learn as rapidly as he does. So these is all things that's true about Mercury and Gemini. And then some of these things we know about Prince, like they said that his interest might be in speaking, journalism, or writing, which we know. Um, he might pick up an occupation that requires him to travel a lot or have a lot of variety, which we know that Prince traveled a lot due to his occupation. Um, and then we know that Prince got used to get mad at his engineers for not working or as fast as he does. We know about Prince, like they said, the jack of all trades and liking to deep dive into a bunch of different things. So we know that about him trying all different instruments and musical sounds and things like that. So all of this can relate to his Mercury and Gemini. Did we know that he seek knowledge, love to read, conversation, traveling, all of these things, and then Prince could have been stressed a lot, um, which a lot of Geminis is gonna be always stressed because they always overthinking things, and then they could be nervous a lot. So we all of these things definitely relate to Prince. Definitely makes sense. Prince having Mercury and Gemini, I can definitely see that. His Venus is in Taurus. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and harmony, and it can rule. It basically rule partnerships, and it can tell a lot about your relationships. And it's ruled by Taurus and Libra. So with his being in Taurus, Taurus is the Earth sign dealing with stability. So it's meaning that this person in love, they gonna crave somebody that they attracted to and that brings them peace, basically, for the most part. And then they're going to be someone who could be big on getting married, big on long-term relationships. So, and then they can be good with partnerships and relationships. That could be one of their strong areas. So we know that that makes sense for Prince because Prince is known just as much for his relationships and dating and all of that stuff as he is for making music. So that can make sense with this Venus and Taurus. So this is the point where I want to look up who the person dated or married to. So Prince was married twice. Once from 2000, well, from 1996 to 2000, and then from 2001 to 2007. Oh, this is his first wife, Miss Garcia. So she's 50. So I know that Prince started dating her. Well, he met her when she was 16 and started dating her when she was 19. And then I see November 12th, so she's a Scorpio. Okay, so they got her chart November 12th. So she's a Scorpio sun, a moon in Gemini, and her Venus is in Capricorn. Her rising is Aquarius. So Um, how they line up is that, well, her Scorpio sun goes with his moon in Pisces, and then of course he got a moon in Gemini, and Prince is a sun in Gemini. So they definitely is compatible there. It's flipped around, but she got a sun, moon, uh, a air and a water sign as her sun and moon sign, just like Prince has a air and water sign as his sun and moon sign. It just flipped around. So basically, they can relate how she feel is how Prince think, and how Prince feel is how she thinks, basically. To sum it up. But yeah, so yeah, they definitely compatible, especially with her having a moon in Gemini. And then her Venus is in Capricorn, his is in Taurus, so they both air earth signs. So that's also relatable also, because they both got Venus in earth signs. So both of them could definitely create stability in their life, which is why they could have been together. So he definitely was compatible with her. They was married, what is that, 6 years? No, this is the first. So they was married for 4 years, but I know he was with her years before that. And then Prince's second wife, September 19th, so we know that that's a Virgo. So she has a rising in Scorpio, so they got the same rising sign. She's a sun in Virgo, a moon in Leo. So it's also both the same. Leo and Gemini is compatible because it's fire and air. So fire and air tend to go with each other. And then Virgo and Pisces goes together because it's water and earth, and water and earth go with each other also. So they also compatible in certain ways also. It just flips because if she was a sun in Leo, Leo goes with Gemini, and then Virgo goes with Pisces. So they compatible in that area. Then her Venus is in Libra, his is in Taurus. So they both ruled by Venus, even though Libra is the air sign and Taurus is the earth sign. So they typically not compatible, but they both ruled by the same planet. So that means that they both gonna have a love for love and beauty and harmony. So that's where they compatible, and that's where they could get along and match, because they both gonna see things through the same, and they both gonna value the same things, with them both being ruled by Venus, with Libra and Taurus both being ruled by Venus. Then they got the same rising sign, so they both gonna be a little bit dark and mysterious. So yeah, that's Prince Two Wives. So he was compatible with both of them. Every time I look at the relationship, it's always compatible. I don't know who Prince, I mean, his wife should be enough. Because I don't know if he dated somebody else seriously. Did he date Carmen Electra? Shut a flame. Oh, he had a couple other women that he dated. I don't, well, he got pictures with some of them, so some of these might be true. But we don't know how serious the relationships was. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But but yeah, that's who Prince dated it. So that definitely lines up with each other and makes a lot of sense. Next, is his Venus and Taurus. So it says in love affairs, Prince is generally loyal and steady, especially if his partner is de demonstrative and affectionate. Prince is orientated towards the sensational side of life, and everything he does, it may show through too much weight. Prince is tremendously responsive to beauty and physical appearances, and the physical attractiveness of his partner is very important to him. Prince enjoys indulging himself and the ones he loves, and it is too easy for him to be extravagant and perhaps to put too much value in material things. Comfort is important to Prince, and he hates getting his hands dirty. At times, Prince can be lazy, hoping or expecting someone else to do the dirty work. Self-control needs to be developed and added to the qualifications Prince already possesses. Warmth, charm, sympathy, art, Prince already possesses warmth, charm, sympathy, and art. Guard against possessiveness, jealousy, and taking the easy way out in Prince relationships. Prince aims to please in practical and earthly ways. So yeah, that's all things of course of a Taurus. So just basically saying that this person can value material things and have a love for wealth. And like I said, with Taurus being ruled by Venus, just like Libras, that they gonna value physical appearances of their partner, and the physical and looks is gonna be very important to them, which makes sense. Because people always used to say, like to say, Prince love beautiful women. Prince always around beautiful women. So that can be explained by his Venus and Taurus. His Mars is in Aries. Mars is ruled by Aries, and it's the planet of aggression, and it can rule and it can control your sex life, like your sexual hunger, and then of course your aggression style Taurus life. So with his being an Aries, it means that he gonna be good at following his passions, being aggressive. You know, it's gonna be somebody who definitely passionate and definitely like about a go-getter for the most part in terms of whatever they want to do in life. So that can be where Prince excels in making a lot of music. I know Prince had like over 10 albums and always recording and always on the move and always working. That can come from the Mars and Aries because Mars is all about your passion. And then it can also be somebody who like a very sexual person that's big on having sex. Somebody who like quick, like things to be quick and fast and blunt and straightforward. All things that of a Aries is what this person would be like with their Mars and Aries. So it's gonna be somebody who definitely passionate and have a like a outgoing type of personality and an outgoing like aggression style. So it says Prince is aggressive, pioneering, adventurous, and always on the outlook to start new projects. Prince hates restraint and doesn't like to be told to do something or how to do it. Prince wants to lead, not follow. At times, Prince can be headstrong, impulsive, and impatient. Waiting is not something that appeals to Prince. Prince goes after what he wants with a great zeal, and he does not take no for an answer. Prince loves competition and anything that allows him to test or prove himself. Cooperation is not his strong suit, and he can be very self-willed, self-absorbed, and selfish at times. The me first attitude is strong in him. Prince is self-reliant and hates depending on or relying on others. Prince needs to be his own person and do things his way, even if it might not be the best way. Prince's strongest skill is getting things started quickly. If he does not see immediate success, he may become dissatisfied with the project and move on to the next. Prince's strength isn't in the area of endurance. Long-term projects do not appeal to Prince as much as rapid short-term projects that he can finish quickly and go on to something else. Prince has a lot of energy and excitement. Self-control is important for him to learn so he doesn't burn out. Physical activity and keeping in shape appeal to him. Prince may be prone to accidents due to haste. Prince needs to learn to stick to a project until it is finished before rushing off on a new endeavor. Prince must learn to control his temper and his impulsiveness. So yes, that's definitely all things that's true. Some of these things that I know relates to Prince when it comes to, like I said, him. This can explain why he was known for making a lot of music. I would just read watching a Prince interview where they said Prince had something called the Vault, where he had like 2,000 songs, and Prince he would get started on something, but if it didn't fit the concept of his album or what he wanted, he would hop to something different and hop all over the place to different things. And then, because like they said, there's gonna be somebody who wants to do stuff in short bursts, and can be big on starting things but not always finishing things. And then what else? Oh, physical activity can appeal to him, which we know that Prince liked to dance and move around a lot. Um, what else? He can have a temper and be impulsive, which I can just see, which I can see a lot. Um, he hates restraint and being told what to do. We know that about Prince. Prince was headstrong, liked to do his own things, didn't care what people thought about him, which really did his own thing and really didn't care and was different than everybody else. Yeah, that's all things about Mars and Aries and how it relates to Prince for sure. His Mars and Aries can explain a lot about why he was such a passionate and different person and a headstrong person for sure. Jupiter is in Libra. So Jupiter is ruled by Sagittarius, my bad. And Jupiter is the planet of wisdom, luck, higher learning, what else? Travel, traveling. It's just some of the things that Jupiter rules, all associated with Sagittarius. So his is in Libra. So we know that Libra is the air sign, another air sign, and is dealing with partnerships, ruled by Venus, so it's dealing with love, beauty, and harmony. So I'm gonna read what it says about Prince Jupiter and Libra. It says Prince is physiological, sympathetic, and friendly. Prince expands his horizon and grows through using his ability to be outgoing with, and well liked by others. Prince has the ability to encourage others towards greater efforts. There's a love for beautiful things and perhaps an interest in art or law. On the negative side, there is a danger of self-indulgence or extravagance, and a desire to improve social status through marriage rather than establishing a partnership based on true love. There may be more concern to demonstrate to the world that the marriage has been successful rather than happy. Much expense may be incurred through partnerships, perhaps on account of the marriage partner's extravagant taste. So, this all can relate to how extravagant Prince was and his extravagant lifestyle that he lived and his extravagant nature. And then self-indulge, I can see, well, we know towards the end how Prince started to self-indulge in pain pills. That's what ultimately killed them. Like starting to take more and more painkillers, and he really did get self-indulged in them. And then the same thing can be for his music, though, on the positive side, while he self-indulged in his music and it took over him, and that was all he focused on. It says that he have a love for beautiful things, so that's gonna be from Libra, but then also his Taurus, Venus and Taurus. So he gonna be really somebody who love beautiful things, love nice things, and that's what Prince is known for, loving just, beautiful things and art and stuff like that. So all of this can definitely relate to Prince. All of that he gets from his Jupiter and Libra for sure. And then it says that he can care more about picking a partner based on it looking right or making sense versus true love.